So getting your low point to the ball and slightly forward, another big part of this is your weight shift. So for this, all we're going to look for basically is how your lower body moves across onto the left side to make sure that everything else gets in front of the ball and then the body stays back. So while you're swinging, one of the, the simple points you're trying to make is if you imagine yourself stood against a wall, you're trying to make sure this left hip gets across to the left, over that left foot. A very common problem you see with amateur golfers is this one. They're trying to turn, but their hip is staying back. That's a very common problem, which makes the body center move back, leading to an inconsistent strike. So the hardest part in your practice is actually being able to identify whether you've moved your weight or not. You obviously, when you're doing it, you'll feel like your weight's shifting, but there's no way of checking whether you actually have unless you have access to video, which is also one of the best ways to check. But a simple point you can do is put your golf bag just by your left, just on outside your left foot, and whilst you're swinging, very, very gentle swings, and make sure you take out your drivers just so you don't hit them when you swing through. But what you're trying to make sure you feel is when you swing down, you're trying to feel your left leg is getting as close to that bag as you can. So you don't need to do full swings for this one, as you'll see, but we're going to swing down, push, and try and get everything forward as close as I can to that left side. What you do not want, and this is very common in slicers, is when they swing down is that everything comes left. Shoulders get very open. That's what will give you that out to in swing path. So as I said, what you're trying to feel is that you're sequencing, hips going first, trying to get that weight across, but your body center is staying much more back where it was at the start. That will give you a much more in to out path and help you start the ball to the right of target. One of the most common problems that we see is this one. When you swing down, everyone tries to turn their hips, but actually what you'll notice is that my left leg is now much further away from this. Shoulders then turn. My body center's a long way forward, much more forward than my hips. That again gives you an out to in path, very likely to get a pull or a slice, which is one of the biggest losses of distance that you'll find. Make sure when you swing down, you're going to sequence your hips first, push your hips left, try and feel that the body stays back. That will help you get in front and keep your low point where the ball is.